What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Heel Hookers Podcast, episode 170. We are back talking about a pretty solid fight card for the UFC this weekend coming up. UFC Mexico City. It was pretty wacky of just all the different potentials that we were going to get for the main event of this card. So many different talks.
Yeah.
We're getting talks of Diego Lopez versus Yair Rodriguez. Then Diego ends up fighting Volk in the main event for the pay-per-view coming up. Yair's fighting Patricio. There was talks about that being on this card, but went all over the place. End up with the main event at 125 pounds between Brandon Moreno, former flyweight champ, taking on former flyweight contender in Steve Erceg. We got a pretty good one here, fellas.
Yeah, we definitely do. I am so ready for a good fight here. I feel like my feelings are just way too into this, where I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen, and I can't think, because it's like, I do not want to see Steve Erceg on a 3-fight losing streak. Like, that is just so fucking sad. I've been hyped on him since he made his debut, you know what I mean? And like, even in the losses, like, I just want to see him bounce back. But it does not feel right to say that I'm going against Brandon Moreno and that I want to see him lose. You know what I mean? I just gotta hope for a good fight, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna deliver a good fight.
I have no doubt about that.
Yeah, honestly. Like super confident in a fun fight.
I was about to say both fighters having very crisp boxing, very different styles of boxing as well. So it's very good.
Yes,
that's already very interesting. Both have very different styles of grappling, especially like when they're on bottom position versus top position, how that actually goes. So it's going to be fun as hell. Moreno's still, like, as of recently, only losing to the best of the best in the division in Pantoja and Royval. So
it's like, because I mean, just going fucking like it. You have to go back to 2017 for him to have a fight that he's lost that isn't one of those two, or Figgy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like literally like Royval, like at any other period could be the champ. Like just a fucking difference of opinion, he could have been the champ. You know what I mean? Like it just right there. And then Pantoja, Figgy, just two great champions as well. You know, so it's like he, like you said, only losing to the best in the world. And I mean, even in Steve Erceg, gets 3 wins in the UFC, coming up super hot, loses to Pantoja also in a very close fight, just overperformed, looked incredible in there. And then the last one, just the super rough knockout loss to Kai Kara France. One of those things where you got Kai, who is just an extremely explosive, powerful puncher, and just seeing Erceg just back away, hands down, like after exchanges, you know, like just being able to go in with that big shot to catch him. It was just clean, just caught him, like it just dead to rights on it. You know what I mean? Like it. Just one of those things you can't say like, oh, he like caught him like lucky thing. Like, nah, it just saw that clear hole and just executed it under a round, you know? So it's just one of those things where it's super rough.
Yeah, no, and like you're talking about with Kai, like finding that hole and everything and like being an explosive power puncher, like potentially the most powerful puncher, like 125 right now. And even like pound for pound, probably one of the hardest hitters. Because like he began knockouts at 125 where people aren't expecting people to get knockouts, so
yeah, and just like one shot, like putting people on skates and stuff too. You know what I mean? Like, it's for sure. It definitely, his power has to be respected. And it's with the striking. I really do think that just having because what is the actual height and reach? Because 5'8", 68.5-inch reach
to 5'7" with a 70-inch reach. It's funny because I always think Moreno is a little shorter and Erceg is a little taller. So I was kind of surprised to see that. Just an inch in difference, and it's Moreno with an inch and a half in reach.
That is actually kind of crazy, honestly.
Not really much of a difference there. Like, not enough to matter anyway.
It's so tough for fucking Steve Erceg to, after just both of those losses, to go in against just a fucking former champion to try and get it done. Was supposed to fight Asu Amabayev March 1st, but gets this opportunity in a main event. You know what I mean? Just way different styles in that one too, from training for Asu for however little bit to this, you know. But
it just really does suck. Like, I really wish that he would have gotten the Asu fight, because it's like, 3-fight winning streak. He came in, he beat David Dvorak, who was ranked on and short notice, looked great. Like, good for him. Then they gave him the step back in unranked. Alessandro Costa beat him like he should. Then he knocks out Matt Schnell. Right into a Pantoja fight is crazy. You know, just one of those things where you have like this prospect coming up and just pushed him too quickly, loses that, and it's like, okay, we'll give you top 5 hard hitter in Kai, loses, and they were going to give him the step back in a Stu. That's great. But now you just give him, what, number 2 in Moreno?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was...
After he just, like... I hate it for him. I do like obviously see past the victory for him, but like there is just the chance that he could lose because it's Moreno and he's a great fighter, and that sucks for him so bad, you know?
Oh, for sure.
No, yeah, 100%. Like the biggest problem is like it was because of all the timing, because Asu gets the opportunity against Manel Kape because Brandon Royval has to drop out, and so like they had to scramble to find multiple fights for multiple people, and it just
multiple
how the cookie crumbles. No, yeah, exactly. And the cookie just crumbles in this way.
Like I know that's how it happened. I'm just saying I just preferred the Asu fight for him because a step back 100%. Would have been so much better in a situation like this.
No, yeah.
It's like, you get knocked out and you get a step up. Like
yeah. Because it's like, just like you said, with the 3-fight winning streak, it's like not a single person that's in the rankings at this point. You know what I mean? Like just a way different level of competition than if he were to lose to Moreno, you know what I mean? Then his 3 losses in a row, it's like just completely different where it's like, that's why you just need those different, like just that different experience of fighting different guys, different styles to just get in there, get used to it, and just have those different opportunities.
Yeah.
It's like, that's one of those things that's going to be a hard barrier with that 3-fight losing streak, even though like, it's to the best. It's like, champ 2 and 4. It's like, okay, even if he gets on a streak, it's going to be hard for people to look at him and be like, okay, but like, does it really matter if he's going to be losing to everyone in the top 5?
I mean, I will say that with a lot of the people, you know, you're as good as your last fight. So if he loses here, but then he starts putting together a streak on the back half, gets together a better game plan, gets his confidence back and just being in there, you know, and then he gets a rematch with any of these guys and win, the respect's there.
Yeah,
like, it is just day and night with fans, so I don't really worry for him for that. Obviously, just in the moment, it'll suck, but it's like that's why just step back and just getting the confidence of winning again and getting good. Yeah, but hopefully, like that's why I'm like, he can't lose, you know.
No,
and I get what you're saying with that, but it is one of those things where it will linger with a good amount of fans because there are still fans who are like, oh, Sean Brady lost to got TKO by Bilal, blah, blah, blah. Like, he's not anything. It's like, he just beat a former fucking champion and dominated him.
Yeah.
Like, you still aren't going to give him the respect? Okay. So I could see that potentially also happening here, because it's like, it will be a 3-fight losing streak against champ 2 and 4. It's like, okay, you've hit your ceiling.
Yeah. But it is one of those things. I do feel like that if Erceg... I feel like he has to go out there and kind of just like make it a scrap. You know what I mean? Because in my head, I was like, I feel like Moreno has just the cleaner defense, and I feel like Erceg lands a little bit more. And just looking at the stats, they're basically both the same, pretty close in numbers. But yeah, Erceg lands a little bit more. Moreno 60% defense, with Erceg at 53, and I feel like he can go in there, be the bit more physical fighter than Moreno, because like obviously Moreno is a great boxer, but he's not like the hardest hitter or anything like that, and Erceg is extremely tough. And I feel like if he just kind of just pulls back to that performance of like going in against Pantoja, where it's like I feel like against Kai he had a little bit of doubts in himself, you know what I mean? Of just like that super close fight with Pantoja, shoots the takedown in the 5th round, ends up losing it because of it, where it's like he just has to fully believe in himself, all of his skills. And I feel like if he goes out there, makes it like as tough of a scrap as possible, I feel like he can outwar it, like outbrawl Moreno over the 5 rounds and get it done, just mixing everything up with the striking, grappling, just the flawless transition. It's like, I really do believe in Erceg, but if he just has any bit of doubts in himself and lets Moreno just get flowing, you know what I mean, out at distance, it could really start going.
Night,
and it could start going down bad too. Like I
was about to say, because Moreno is a momentum fighter. Like he likes to build, and if it's like fighting Max Holloway in that sense, where if you let him start flowing, it's gonna just keep piling up and piling up. And it's gonna be harder for you to catch back up. Be able to win that fight. So
no matter what, whoever's going to get it done is going to be a rough-ass fight. It is going to be fun as hell for as long as it lasts. I feel like more than likely it's going to go to a decision.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
They're 2 incredible fighters. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them was able to find an opportunity to grab a finish as well. So
I was about to say, especially like just they're both having such willingness to actually grapple and all that, just being able, just that one split-second mistake all of a sudden takes your back and gets the choke in or something like that. Like I could entirely see that happening. guys.
Hell yeah. So let's go see how that main event plays out at 125 pounds. It just sucks because it's like with Moreno too. Like he goes out there and like let's say he gets the win over Erceg. It's just like 2-fight win streak now over like obviously Erceg just saying the 2 losses, just all the things considered. But it's like over 2 top 10 guys, like the win over Emil Abazi before it. It's just like it's already lost to Royval and Pantoja before it. I just wonder where he kind of ends up in the title picture, and but I also wonder if like the UFC will be more willing to like give him that extra title opportunity over Royval just because they like him that little bit more. The like just even talking about in the last podcast, of just like being from different places and stuff. So having that Mexican background, so it's like that fan base and everything, and just wanting to bring him back into the title picture because of that.
Yeah.
No, that's possible. They may look at it and be like, hey, Kai's, right there. Let's run back Kai and Moreno.
Yeah.
Have the trilogy with them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's definitely possible too. But yeah, we'll see how all that plays out at 125 pounds. Co-main event, pretty solid fight at 155 pounds, lightweight division. Manuel Torres getting a fight against Drew Dober.
I don't know how the fuck he got himself here, and I'm not sure that I like it for him.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, go.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
He's 3-1 in the UFC. He's obviously fucking solid. 29 years old. Oh, but he's so wild out there. Like, he comes in, gets 3 finishes, first round in a row, and then Ignacio Bahamondes in the Sphere. In 1 round, he got dropped 3 fucking times. I don't know how much they actually made that official, but he was getting rocked all over the place, was just getting back up, so willing to just brawl with him until he finally just gets dropped and finished at 4 minutes and 2 seconds.
Yeah, they kind of 2 knockdowns for that fight.
Okay.
But yeah, either way though. Yeah.
And now you're going against Drew Dober. Drew is on, a 2-fight losing streak, but to Moicano and Jean Silva, just different levels,
Yeah.
I don't know how this is gonna go for him, man. It's like obviously he has power, and Drew, he got finished by Frivola, the doctor stoppage over Jean Silva, so who knows if he'll be able to get something done. But honestly, I kind of feel like Drew's just gonna go out there and knock him the fuck out.
Oh, that is entirely possible. That is live.
I just feel bad for him. Like, bro, he just got knocked out by Ignacio and you're going to give him Drew Dober? Like, Drew's about to murder him, is what I feel. I could be entirely wrong, but that's just, 3-1 to 13-10.
No, yeah. It's and one thing, just not even bringing up, didn't even think about with the main event too, but Mexico City fucking elevation, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
that could easily just be a lot of factor in a lot of these fights where we have no idea of who that's going to potentially affect too, you know what I mean?
So I mean, with this one specifically, Manuel Torres is born in Mexico, fighting out of Mexico. It doesn't say where though, so I'm not sure if he's anywhere near there with that elevation.
Yeah.
But Drew fighting out of Denver and all of that, I did look it up. There's a 2,000 feet difference, but just, you know what I mean? It's definitely not sea level to that,
100%. Yeah.
So I don't know how much it's going to affect this one so much.
Yeah, and I did have that thought. We're probably not too much, because in all honesty, it's I do agree where it's I feel like Drew's is going to go out there and knock him out, because it's Manuel is just going to be super aggressive, and I just don't think he's not going to be able to put on a performance against Drew like all these other top guys have.
No.
Those are the only guys that Drew's losing to, is basically top 15 fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I feel like he's just going to run himself into a giant shot.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely would be nice to see a good old Drew Dober win. Pretty sure he has the most knockouts in lightweight history, right? I think it was.
I didn't know if it was him or Dustin.
I think
he's got 9.
That sounds right.
I think with his last one with Ricky, I think he got the record, or maybe he tied with Dustin. But I know it's definitely up there for sure.
Him and Dustin are tied at 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Then at 7, Melvin Gillard and Edson Barbosa.
Nice.
But yeah.
So yeah, if he's able to go out there and secure that number 1 spot for himself, that's just what a fucking record to have. just the violence division. You know what I mean? To be the motherfucker on top with the most knockouts is pretty goddamn incredible.
Yeah. It's hilarious. He can have 24 fights in the UFC. And he is not even in the... He might have fought at 170 or some catch weights, but he's not in the top 10 of the most fights in the lightweight division.
That's crazy.
There has to be some catch weights in there because Beneil, Cerrone, and Ross Pearson all have 23. So there's probably a catch weight or two in there.
Probably. But yeah, either way, definitely rooting for a Drew Dober knockout. That would be awesome. Would be rough for Manuel Torres, but it's just like it's one of those things. Like what? Like,
it's 155. It's Ignacio and Drew that you drop to whatever. Yeah. Hopefully, after that, they give him a more favorable matchup.
Yeah, or yeah. Hopefully, we just a good fight out of it, because it would just be nice if he's just isn't just running into shots, you know, and just actually see like an improved game plan and performance, you know, like that would be the nice thing at the end of the day to just see a better Manuel Torres in there. But just
in this one, I will also say that it's like with Ignacio, he might be more used to being the bigger guy in there at 155 at 5'10", 73-inch reach. He's obviously not huge, but like Drew Dober, 5'8", 70-inch reach. I wonder if it was just being against Ignacio, who was 6'3", just long ass arms, where it's like
very fair too. Good, that is a good.
Like
point,
I wonder
honestly.
if that's why he was really just running into shots like that. He's like, damn, bro, how do I get past this? Like,
we'll
see. Yeah,
but let's go. Should be a very fun co-main event for as long as it lasts. Going on down to the featured bout, I'm pretty interested to see how this one plays out, honestly.
Same.
Kelvin Gastelum, he is back at 185 pounds. Because I know D-Rod, was that at 185? Okay, that was. I forgot if D-Rod went up or not for that one.
He did.
But yeah, so he's back. Second fight in a row at 185 pounds after moving down to 170 for that terrible loss to Sean Brady.
Yeah.
But he's taking on Joe Pyfer. I really feel like Kelvin's going to go out here and get it done against Joe Pyfer, honestly.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Who's affected by the elevation in this fight?
Body bags, I feel like, for sure.
You don't think it's going to be both of them? Because I'm with Ginger on both. Like, I feel like, I don't know if Body Bags has been out there for an extended period of time by any means.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's been acclimated. I don't know if he's got anything going on.
Yeah.
But I also don't know that with Kelvin. But you know what I mean? It's like,
The reason why I feel like, if anything, it's going to affect Joe Pyfer more is I just trust in Kelvin's experience and his just overall gas tank. It's like, yeah, he's lost a lot of 5-round decisions and stuff like that, but it's not like he's gassing out there in 5-round decisions. He's just literally fighting the best people in the world at those times. You know what I mean? Like, Joe Pyfer, just with that loss to fucking Jack Hermanson, you know what I mean? Like, that was just real rough. Like, just he was not prepared for that 5 rounds at all. And it's like, obviously, this one only being 3 rounds, but with the elevation, it's like, I feel like Joe's probably going to have a solid first round. He might even like drop Kelvin, get some moments, but Kelvin is extremely tough and durable. It is not easy to get him out of there.
He's still never been knocked out. He's been sub 3 times, but it's the decisions.
So that's what I was...
Sorry.
No, but that's what I was about to say is it's the submission threat from Joe Pyfer that I think is the biggest thing that we're kind of all overlooking here, because he does have really good jiu-jitsu, and he does. So like that is the biggest thing is like if he hurts Kelvin at all and Kelvin shoots on a panic takedown, he's going to get caught in a guillotine, a Dars, any type of like headlock submission. Then all of a sudden, like, yeah, he could be tapping. Like, he has been submitted before, and it is possible for him to be submitted. And it just, Joe also just having...
Joe at that high of a level, though, because it's like the guys that have subbed Kelvin was Sean Brady at 170, which we've been talking about, you know?
Yeah, that's...
Jack Hermanson, and then Chris Weidman.
Yeah.
Like, those are the only 3 people who got it. And then Joe has only 3 submission wins, only one of them inside the UFC, over Abdul Razak El Hassan in the second round.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm just like, he's mainly just knocking these guys out that I'm like, is he really going to be able to do that? Is his submission threat as strong as Sean Brady, as Jack Hermanson, as Weidman, you know?
I would say it's higher than Weidman.
I don't know much about
Weidman was not a submission guy.
He got a couple, but I'm sure he hurt him and then got him. You know what I mean? So I'm just like,
yeah. I definitely like, I get your point, Ginger, of like the submission threat like could be there. But I do just overall agree that I don't think that it's like, I don't think that Joe's gonna really be able to grab one on him. Honestly, like I don't know.
The reason I'm saying this is because like everyone knows Kelvin Gastelum and how fucking tough he is. So like I feel like he is drilling for one to go all 3 rounds, but also going to be like, if I get him hurt, to get him onto the ground and to submit him, because it's either going to be trying to TKO him, which is which has way more potential than actually knocking him out, or getting the sub. If the team is smart, that's what they're going to be going for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like this fight, honestly, it's going to be a big, like, potential good first round for Joe Pyfer, like, landing some good shots and, like, just maybe getting, like, aggressive, doing a lot to, like, try and grab the finish. But I feel like Kelvin's going to he's just going to tough it out, and he's going to pick it up 2 and 3 and just, like, outwork him and get him tired and honestly win the back half of the fight. Like, it's either that or it's, like, if, like, even on the feet, I feel like Kelvin can just give him all sorts of problems with just the fast movement, the in and out. You know what I mean? Like, it could still just be hard for Joe Pyfer to even, like, get a big shot off on him, honestly.
No, yeah. It's possible.
Well, who knows? I do think it should be a fun fight at 185 pounds.
It should.
Yeah. They're both just exhausted after 3 minutes, and it looks like a heavyweight fight instead.
Oh, God, that'd be terrible.
No.
Mexico City.
But yeah, it's still just so crazy to have Kelvin, only fucking 33 years old, over 20 fights in the UFC, just been around for so long, just so, you know what I mean, fought so many good people. But as long as he shows up and he's on point, then he wins this fight easy peasy. If he's not on point, then it could be a rough fight, but I still think he can get it done. I just don't believe in Joe Pyfer that much, honestly. That's really just what it is, man.
I get it. Why am I all of a sudden the person rooting for everyone from Philadelphia? What the fuck?
I don't know. That's just who you are.
What
Philly
happened?
Trash. And it's like, you know, he's only 28 years old too, so it's like still getting better, like still has like time to grow and everything, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Just like 3 wins, like the GM3 one was obviously very solid, but it's like he can GM3 can get run over for just being too physical, you know what I mean? And then it's just like Abdulrazak Alhassan and then Marc-Andre Barrios. It just not the greatest wins, you know what I mean?
No, yeah, that's fair.
But we'll see how it all goes.
That Jack fight was bad, I will admit that. Like, that was one of those situations where I think they jumped him up and tried to get him into the top 15 way too soon.
Yeah.
Because Jack is a hell of a fucking fighter, and extremely experienced. Like, it just was not...
And I feel like that's... And I guess, like, that's for me, too, where it's like... Because that was too big of a step up, for sure. But out of all the people to give him to step up into, like, the top 10 and stuff...
That is the guy.
Yeah, because Jack cannot handle big punchers at all. Like, you put big shots and he crumbles. Like, and it just... He was not able to do that. And so I feel like that's what kind of makes it even worse. And it's like, there's just no way he's going to fucking give Kelvin any looks that he has not seen before, he's not used to, and he hasn't been able to work through, you know?
Look, he was having... Look, Joe, he was having trouble with the 1-2 high kick from Whitaker. Just do that, you'll be fine.
Hey, we'll see what it all plays out and what it turns out to be in the featured bout there at 185 pounds. Next fight on the main card, I absolutely hate this so much. I'm probably like the only person that watches the UFC that cares about Vince Morales and wants to see him do good. Well, but this is a terrible matchup.
It's not so much I want to see Vince do good. It's just like, I'm just sitting here like, okay, I get Raul, like, you're still trying to build him up. Why this fight? This is too much of a, like, in my opinion, look good fight. You know what I mean? I feel like you could have given him someone that was, you know, that's been doing a bit better. Because, like, it's about, like, 3-7 in the UFC. Like, I just don't see, like, what the point was for Raul in this fight, besides to make him look good.
The thing, sorry.
Yeah, no,
because the reason why I am excited about this fight is that Vince is real scrambly. Yeah, I know he does have 2 submission losses, but that's going back to 2018 and 2015. You know, he's definitely improved on that. He's obviously still been like losing decisions and like got
7
knocked out
losses
one
in the
time.
UFC, one KO loss,
and that's like kicks
from Chris Gutierrez. 6 decision losses. Yeah,
right. So that's where I was gonna get at. You know, like he is hard to get out of there. And on the ground, he is just real scrambly, real fun, real exciting. And I'm just curious how it's going to go with Raul. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, Raul is good. He's good at catching the submissions. Like, I do think he's going to win. You know, I don't think that Vince is going to win the fight, but I just think it's going to be really fun. And it'll just, be good to see from Raul.
For me, it's because I definitely like didn't take that into consideration as much of like how actually hard it is to get him out of there, because it's like he definitely just struggles with like more physical fighters, and like that'll put on the pressure, and that's just the name of the game for Raul, you know. So it's like I just feel like it's more than likely that he just goes out there, big shots, take down, easy first round sub, you know. But it's like if like Vince is able to be scrambly and does actually show of like, oh no, you can't just sub me like that, then back into the second round, third round, it definitely could start to get more interesting for sure, because Vince is tough as shit and he will go after it. So it's like
he can win decisions. He has second and third round finishes. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I think it's an interesting fight.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
No, yeah, exactly. It's gonna be interesting because like again, altitude, how this affects both fighters, like because we have seen in the C-Rod fight, like yes, he went to decision in his last one, but he did not like go out as aggressively as sometimes he does. If he goes out and just thinks he's gonna run over Vince and does what he does against C-Rod, I could see this being a long night for Raul.
Yeah, and that is definitely possible. So yeah, but we'll see how it goes. Definitely is Tapology at minus 310 favorite. Honestly, that's not as I feel like it was going to be a much bigger favorite for Raul. Honestly, that's so crazy that fucking Tapology has Joe Piper as a way bigger favorite over Kelvin than Raul over Vince.
Yeah,
I'm sure Tapology is an aggregate of a lot of different sites though when it comes to
probably odds. Yeah. But either way, 2 more fights on the main card. I don't know how hyped you guys are for a debuting fighter and an 0-2 fighter on the main card, and David Martinez and Simon Oliveira.
I don't know, but David Martinez is a minus 400 favorite. That's interesting.
He's gonna go out there, lose in his UFC debut, and give Simon Oliveira his first UFC win.
And he's not undefeated, so he could probably win.
Yeah, I do find this funny on Tap. So I find this hilarious on Tapology. Height for Martinez, 5'5", 67.5-inch reach. Height for Oliveira, 5'4", with a reach of 66.9.
Yeah, I was just looking at that. 2 small guys in there at 135 pounds, but yeah, the 0.9.
Wow, that's crazy. I kind of didn't even realize that was 135 while I was looking at the heights. I'm like, damn, these are some small flyweights.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Sure.
But so we'll see how that one plays out. But some actual flyweights though, Ronaldo Rodriguez taking on Kevin Borjas. That should be some good old fun at 125 pounds.
Yeah, Lazy Boy is definitely a fun fighter. Kevin Borjas 0-2. He puts on fun fights, but he has been losing them, and he probably will lose this one, and it sucks because it's like Joshua Van, Alessandro Costa, and now Ronaldo Rodriguez. Like, what a rough fucking run. Give him an easy win, you know?
Right. It is always just so sad when you see those guys where it's like you could have so easily given them fights they could have won, but you're just like, no, you're the guy to make the other guys look good,
right?
But fucking Ronaldo Rodriguez, that Ode Osborne performance was a very good one for him. Yes. The Sphere definitely got himself a whole lot of hype for that. So that just because that was the main card opener, right?
Yeah,
and just one of those things too, where it's like just people just talking about like positioning of cards and stuff, and it's like you just do that for a fighter. It's like Ode, not a terrible fighter, but not the greatest fighter. You know what I mean? Like didn't fucking get a finish over him, but like just that performance, how fun it was, just the moment and everything, just like really made it stand out. And just 2-0 in the UFC, just see what he's able to do at 27, I think 25. Yeah, young as shit still. So
yeah, Kevin's 27.
Gotcha. But probably a easy win for Ronaldo Rodriguez in this one.
Probably.
Likely.
Yeah. Well, let's go.
Last match of 2-0 versus 0-2.
Yep. Perfect. That is the main card from UFC Mexico City. What on the prelims do you guys want to get into? Is that we got some couple fights on you.
I'm excited for the Melchizedek Costa and Christian Rodriguez fight.
Yeah.
That's the one for me.
Why are you so excited about it?
Because it's like you have Christian Rodriguez, who is the prospect killer.
Yes.
He's taken 4 guys O's in his last 4 wins, you know, but his losses to JSP and Julian Erosa, you know, he just have the win over Joshua Weems, who's 10-2, whatever. Yeah. But like, you know, once he gets like those guys with like a bit more experience, he seems to not be getting it done. Melchizedek Costa, not like the most UFC experience, sitting at 3-2, which is less than Christian Rodriguez. But he's a tough fucking fighter. You know, he has some rough losses, but he also has some like really good wins in just like how he's getting them done and just, you know what I mean? Just how he's performing in there. Where it's like you got RNC'd by Thiago Moises and ground and pounded by Steve Garcia. Like, okay, you know? Yeah. But his last fight over Andre Fili, I didn't think he was going to be able to do that, especially so quickly. Getting Shailene Nardembekev out of there. You know what I mean? Like, he's just been looking good. And I'm just, kind of interested of, is Christian Rodriguez gonna just, you know what I mean? Like this, he doesn't have the most UFC experience, but like just overall 22-7 in his career. Yeah. Where it's like, is he gonna just not have the same looks for him and be like, damn, like this guy, you know what I mean, and end up getting out of there, or is he gonna get a win over someone that's not undefeated?
No, that's fair, but also I think it's like one of those things where I feel like Costa has found his weight class at 145. Like his last 2 losses are at 155, where he was he was smaller than his opponent.
What was that lightweight with Steve Garcia?
Damn, I didn't even realize that was lightweight with him. Because obviously Garcia just a 45 or just
Yeah, both of those being at 55. I feel like he has found his weight class. He is in the weight class, and he actually is like. I feel like he has enough experience to do what you're saying, and I feel like he's physical enough to be in there with C-Rod. Like, that's the biggest thing with C-Rod. When he goes in and takes you down, he's just being physical in there.
I just honestly didn't realize that, because then, his win over Austin Lingo was at 45. So, like, I wonder if that's just really where he's supposed to be, and that's where he performs the best, and he might actually give C-Rod a hard time. Yeah. Because it's the thing that I say with C-Rod all the fucking time. He's 5-2 in the UFC, 7 fights. That's great experience. But he's fought Austin Bashian, Isaac Delgari, and Cameron Saman, Raul Rosas Jr. fucking 2 years ago. Like, you know, just guys that don't have the experience.
Just fighting all these new guys coming in. That's why, the prospect killer.
Exactly. So it's nice to see him fighting someone that just, you know.
No, just
he needs different looks, honestly.
Sure. No,
I was about to say, because like Joshua Weems, like that was his UFC debut. It was his only fight in the UFC. Well, but he's 0-1.
So there you go.
Yeah. So I definitely do think that Costa can give him some trouble, and definitely excited to see how that plays out. And Costa and definitely grab some subs in there, so it's like that can definitely just be a potential threat for motherfucking C-Rod.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's go, Ginger. What about you? What you liking on these prelims?
I am liking Rafa Gifted Garcia versus Vince from Hell Pichel.
Very nice, very solid.
This should be just a fun fight. Again, 155. Got Garcia being a heavy favorite, minus 480, but like that makes sense. He's fighting a 42-year-old man.
I don't care that he's fighting a 42-year-old man. Vince Pichel still looks good in there.
He does.
And this dude just got ground and pounded by Grant Dawson in the second round.
Yeah. Damn, I didn't realize that Rafa Garcia was only 30.
Damn.
Yeah.
I always feel like he's so much older, too.
Yeah, I was like, he's got to be, I was going to say like 35, 36,
Yeah, okay. It's 12-year difference. And like,
damn, I guess Vince is like, you know, lost in 22 to Mark, came back in 24 against Bonfim and lost that. Both decision losses, you know, and just the other guys looking good in there. It's not like they're bad, but
they're not bad, but also like those guys are both Bonfim, like, and Madsen. Obviously, Madsen, like Olympic wrestler, all that, like. Obviously, that's what happened there, and like with Bonfim, I don't remember the fight exactly, but I'm pretty sure
Bonfim just cooked him on the feet.
Yeah.
He just looked real good in there. I remember Jimmy being like, he can't stand up and strike with him, and then he outstruck the shit out of him.
Yeah. So it just all depends, because like the thing is with like Garcia, his wins right now in like his last 2 wins were Clay Guida and Mahachete. his other UFC wins are Jesse Ronson and Natan Levy. Like, he is 4-4 in the UFC.
Yeah.
So I can see him, like, this being a rough fight for him, because Vince is also just a tough-ass motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
crazy is looking at their fucking grappling stats of, like, takedown average per 15 minutes. Rafa at fucking 3.38, Vince at 2.78, but the takedown defense 75% for Rafa, 25% for Vince Pichel.
Damn.
Yeah, Vince cannot defend a takedown to save his life.
Yeah.
All right, so Rafa's gonna win.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably be able to mix
once
it up
he gets
more
him down, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
do agree that it should be a good fun fight, though. It just, two very solid guys at 155 pounds. I'd always just put
especially if they stand. Like, that's going to be fun.
For sure. I know for me, I'm very excited that we got motherfucking Loopy back. She's taking on Julia Palastri. Julia's 1-1 in the UFC. You know,
it's the perfect fight for Loopy to win.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just one of those things where it's like, Loopy's fun to watch. Just, want to see her do good. And it's at this point, it's like, just want to see if just what improvements she can just try and add to her game consistently. See if she can make those improvements to actually try and get back up and, like, do good in the rankings. You know what I mean? I don't know if she still is ranked currently. Probably.
I think she is.
Yeah, ranked at number 11. But yeah, just one of those things where it's like, just a little bit too basic of a skill set for the top fighters right now. You know what I mean? So we're just going to struggle a bit, but always good, solid fun to watch. So let's see how she performs. Probably going to look good in a solid decision win, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Other than that, I know you guys are super hyped for Jose Medina being back, right? Let's go.
This is the real 185 fight that's going to end up looking like a heavyweight fight, huh?
Oh, yeah, probably.
Yeah, debuting fighter, 0-1 fighter. Yeah.
Nah, he's going to knock out Medina. Oh, he's never been knocked out? Yeah, this is going to look like a heavyweight fight.
3 decision losses, 1 sub loss.
Yep.
Lost on Contender Series to come into the UFC to lose to Zach Reese. Gets another opportunity.
I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Because I think that was, like, up a weight class, right?
It was light heavyweight, yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember Dana being like, this guy's tough, he's a dog, he's fun, we're bringing him in. And it's like, bro, he's not good enough. And they lost, and it's like, yeah. I mean, who knows? Hopefully it just gets some funny moments out of it at least, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Well, let's go.
Damn,
yeah, a lot of
22 versus 33. God damn.
Huh?
The person who's fighting
the fighter's
is
age 22 versus, yeah.
Gotcha. Cheat. Well, yeah.
6'4" with an 81-inch reach too.
God damn.
Yeah, no, he's winning this fight. I think he's gonna knock him out. He might be able to knock him out.
Probably. But yeah, other than that, I feel like only thing to really mention for this card, just a whole lot of canceled fizzle bouts for sure. Know that just like, bringing up with Yair Diego was like talked about. But yeah, fucking Yasmin Jauregui was supposed to fight Dione Barboza. Dione withdraws, gets Julia Poland, then Yasmin withdraws, and now we get Loopy. Just another one of those classic things of getting a whole new fight because of that.
Damn, that happened twice on this card.
Twice on one card, damn.
Because Daniel Zellerberg was supposed to fight Elvis Brunner. Elvis Brunner pulls out. In steps Austin Hubbard. Daniel Zellerberg pulls out, and in steps Markel Medeiros. So
crazy.
Yep.
And then I didn't even realize that Rafa was supposed to fight Joaquim Silva, and then so Vince is taking this on short notice as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, just see how especially now with just fucking those two fights in fucking Mexico City, how that plays out.
That's true. I was wondering that about Vince Pichel, because I was pretty sure he had announced he was going to move down to 45. I was like, why is he fighting at 55? It was short notice. That's why.
Makes sense. And then I feel like the last little things to mention for the podcast, just 2 fights for Fight News, both at 125 pounds, female flyweight division. Erin Blanchfield, she is back. Do you know the dates on them? I don't know. But she's back taking on Macy Barber. That should be a pretty solid
I feel like
fight.
I said May 7th.
May
31st.
Sense.
May 31st, sorry.
Oh, wow. End of May.
Damn.
Yeah.
Bit of a ways out. Over a little over 2 months, so I guess not too bad.
Shit, Rosen fucking, because then we have Rosa as back against Miranda Maverick, and that's June 14th.
Oh my goodness!
Oh god!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
That's way too
even
soon.
more.
Way too soon to be announcing that one.
Yeah, probably a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, just 2 good fights at the top of 125 pounds. Should be some good fun in those ones. And then good old bullshit of. So yeah, we're just not getting Tom and John, huh? What is gonna happen with this fucking heavyweight title picture?
I don't know.
Who fucking knows? Like the fact he wants 6 months is it's fucking stupid. I also wouldn't care at this point if they strip John.
Yeah, no, like that's easily just it's just the best thing to fucking go about it to just like continue like the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? But it's like you know that they're not going to do that because they want that fucking handoff as much as like just trying to get that 100%. Of Jones actually losing to Tom.
100%.
It's like, yeah, how long are like, because I'm pretty sure at this point, in terms of days, I think Tom Aspinall has passed Renan Barão to be the longest interim champion in UFC history.
He got it November 11th of 2023. So.
What do you mean? If John Jones what actually does get 6 months, he'll end up passing Cain Velasquez for number of days, being undisputed champion at heavyweight, who has the most. Which is, again, why I only count title defenses and not days. Days don't mean shit.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. It's just one of those things where, you got fucking Anderson Silva and shit, and DJ who have all these title defenses along with the days. Now it's like, oh, that's a crazy thing. You held it for over 2,000 days. Like, what the fuck? Like, but
you hold it for so many days and you have 0 title defenses. You have 1 title defense. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So we're talking about 2 of the most well-known stars.
Huh?
It's funny, like with that, we're kind of talking about the 2 most well-known stars in John Jones and Conor.
Yeah, I know, because that's what I was just thinking of, like how Conor held the lightweight title longer than Oliveira. Like, so funny. But it really does suck for Tom of like what the fuck just going on with his career and what like just getting held up because of fucking John Jones, and it's like
seriously.
No, for real.
It's like I don't exactly understand why he wouldn't be willing, honestly, to defend the interim title, because it's like, I don't know, it like as long as just fucking he got his contract done where it's just getting the same perks from like interim to what, you know what I mean? Like if there's going to be no difference in like actual perks, the fans look at you as the real champ. It's like, don't waste your prime. Like he's had a fucking total of like 5 minutes of fight time in the last like fucking 3 years or some shit like that. It's like, dude needs to fucking fight.
The only reason I somewhat understand it is it's like he's going to be killing off essentially the contenders for when he actually is moved to from interim to undisputed.
I think that it's a matter of who are they going to give him, because I don't think that they want to give him Cyril Gane, because you know what I mean? Like nobody thinks he won his last fight, and just, know. And
I
then
feel like Jailton would be the way to go, right?
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, is that Jailton is the only person that they could go to, because he already beat Volkov and Blades, so it's like, I don't know.
I was about to say he's beat 3, 4, and 5 already.
Yeah.
The thing
3,
is
4, 5, 7, 8.
He's beaten a lot.
I wonder if, like, when it comes to the Jailton fight, like, he calls out Cyril Gane all the time. I have not once seen him call out Tom, like, yo, like, defend it against me.
I feel like he did say something at one point.
Okay, because I was going to say, I just haven't seen it. I was just going to say, like, maybe it's just something that I haven't seen. Yeah. But I was like, I wonder if after getting knocked out by Curtis Blades, he's like, damn, let me fight, like, one more person before this big fucking,
Yeah.
I feel like I remember him calling out Tom, but it was because he's like, Cyril doesn't want to fight me. Tom, will you fight me?
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because, like, Cyril doesn't want to fight anyone who's below him in the rankings ever.
Unless you're like Martin Tybura or something,
Yeah, unless you're like a very easy fight.
And what he thought was going to be an easy fight against Volkov, but
Yeah. No, yeah.
But yeah, heavyweight's fucked. It just sucks.
Yeah.
There's no one really coming up. There's no...
bring in Anatoly, bring in Rudrug, bring Francis back, bring Renan Fajeda in. Just fucking get all the heavyweights possible.
All the heavyweights possible.
Yeah,
get Gable Steveson in fucking MMA. Get the guy that just beat Gable Steveson in wrestling in MMA.
Fuck it. Phil, bring in Phil DeFreeze.
Nah, he's too old. He can't do that. But nah,
yeah. Look, title unification.
Fucking just bring Usyk to fucking the heavyweight division, honestly.
Who?
Usyk.
I mean, he has the movement to give a lot of the heavyweights in the UFC problems, to be fair.
Yeah, bro. Like, other than like the, you know, like the heavyweights that actually grapple, that like actually have it, you know, like I don't think that like the other heavyweights of like, oh, like I'm an MMA fighter and I've trained this, you know, like I really don't even think that their grappling would be good enough to like fucking just take down and like do something to Usyk. He just probably fuck them all up so quick. Him in some fucking tiny ass gloves just fucking bombing on people. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's the point we're at in the heavyweight division for MMA. We need boxing.
I know, right?
Bring back James Toney.
Ray Mercer. Yeah, no.
Oh, man. I think that's enough for this episode of the podcast. Enough bullshit at the end. Ain't nothing else to talk about. I hope everyone enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. We will catch you on this review. Kate won't be here for the review. Sad. Terrible.
Yeah.
It's going to be a me and Ginger pod out here. 5 hours long.
I was about to say, do we just make it a live stream at that point?
That might be too much. Then we're just going to easily go for like fucking 3 hours.
Yeah, you guys are going to get way too distracted.
This is going to be fucking, we're just going to be streaming on Twitch and YouTube, just fucking talking to 2 different chats at once, getting fucking distracted. It'd be fucking horrible.
I would say at that point, we just do YouTube.
End the pod.
Huh?
I said end the pod.
Peace out, everyone.